The significant problems that we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that we were at when we created them. You know, a lot of times we're intrigued by the success that people are having, particularly ones that are around us. Like we may see, success stories of people reaching their goals and maybe losing weight or maybe developing some type of financial wealth. And so it's not uncommon for us to ask us or ask them what it was that they did. Show us some type of techniques that helped you. Like, what is it that you did? But do you know that what you're actually asking is basically saying to them, give me some quick fix that's going to, give me some quick solution that's going to fix the problem that I'm currently having. And why is this apparent? Well, because as soon as they tell you what they did, all kinds of excuses just kind of pop up. And these excuses generally revolve around lack of money, or maybe a lack of time, or just really a willing, or let's say a lack of willing to sacrifice. All right. So what we're going to be talking about today is a new level of thinking. Good morning. My name is McAdams, and I am an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and fitness. I help people reach their goals. And today on Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes, we are doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. Now, if you've been watching, for the body, we're doing yoga. For the soul, we're doing a meditation. But for the mind portion, we're actually reading from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And this is written by Dr. Covey. And so today we're going to be talking about a new level of thinking. Now, I know what you're probably thinking is that why is she spending so much time? Like, get to the habits already. Well, there's a reason. For one, this book is 432 pages, okay? And it actually spends a considerable amount of time, the first third of the book, talking about or laying down the foundation. And so even though this may seem, repetitive or a different approach to the same thing, that's okay, because it's about laying down the foundation. Once you understand that this foundation is laid and you get it in your head and start to work on it, then when we start to build a frame, which is actually talking about those 7 habits, then it will be that much easier, right? Because again, it's all about laying that foundation. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about a new level of thinking. Now, when we first started this chapter, I mentioned some common pains, and we're going to revisit those today. So I'm going to read those off to you, and they may sound familiar because, again, we've talked about them before, but then we're going to kind of give a solution to those and also give a new perspective or a new way of thinking. All right, so the first one was, I've taken course after course, and remember, see if you remember these, or if these are sort of familiar with you, particularly the problem. So I've taken course after course on effective management training. I expect a lot of my employees I work with to be friendly toward them and to treat them right. Did I say that right? Yeah. Oh, I expect a lot out of my employees and I work with to be friendly toward them and treat them right. But I don't feel any loyalty from them. I think if I were home sick for a day, they'd spend most of their time gabbling at the water fountain. Why can't I train them to be independent and responsible, or to find employees who can be? Okay, so that's a common problem. All right. Now, the personality ethics tells me that I could take some kind of dramatic action, shake things up, make heads roll. That would make my employees shape up and appreciate what they have. Or I could find some motivational training program that will get them committed. Or even I could hire people that would do a better job. Okay, so that's the personality ethics approach. But is it possible that under the apparent disloyal behavior, these employees question whether I really act in their best interests? Do they feel like I'm treating them as mechanical objects? Is there some truth to that? Okay, so that would be the new level of thinking. So deep inside, is that really the way I see them? Is there a chance that the way I look at people who work for me as part of the problem? Okay, so again, that's diving a little bit deeper. So in other words, what we're talking about here is we're given like some common pains and then an approach of how you would just handle it without doing the deeper or give a new level of thinking. And then I also, but Dr. Covey then gives a new level of thinking. So let's do a couple more of these and then you'll understand what we're talking about here. All right, so here's another common pain. There's so much to do and there's not enough time. I feel pressure and hassle all day, every day, 7 days a week. I've attended time management seminars and I've tried a half dozen planning systems. They've helped some, but I still don't feel I'm living a happy, productive, peaceful life that I want to. All right, so that's a common pain. Now, the personality ethics tells me that there is something out there, some new planner or some seminar that will help me handle all these pressures in a more efficient way. But is there a chance that efficiency is not the answer? So this is the new level of thinking. Is getting more things done in less time going to make a difference? Or will it just increase the pace at which I react to the people and the circumstances that seem to control my life? Could there be something I need to see in a deeper, more fundamental way, some paradigm within myself that affects the way I see my time, my life, and my own nature? All right, let's do one more. All right, here's another common pain. My marriage has gone flat. We don't fight or anything. We just don't love each other anymore. We've gone to counseling. We tried a number of things, but we just can't seem to rekindle that feeling that we used to have. Now, the personality ethics tells me that there is some new book or some seminar where all the people get all their feelings out, and that will help me or help my wife understand me better. Could be husband, right? Or maybe that is useless, and only a new relationship will provide the love that I need. But is it possible that my spouse isn't the real problem? Could I be empowering my spouse's weaknesses and making my life a function of the way I'm treated? Do I have some basic paradigm about my spouse, about marriage, about what love really is that is feeding the problem? Now, can't you see, like throughout these problems, how the paradigm of personality ethics, how that really affects what you're talking about? Okay, so in other words, it may just be feeding the problem, whereas if you can just give a new level of thinking. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, as a new level of thinking. Now, the new level of thinking is actually what the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is all about, right? It's a principle-centered, character-based, inside-out approach to personal and interpersonal effectiveness. Now, by inside out, what is it that we're talking about? We're talking about starting with yourself, okay? And more important, what's deeper within you, those paradigm shifts. And it's the way that you see things. And the paradigms are actually a way that it affects your life, it affects your time, and also affects your nature, it affects the way that you see things, right? So we want to take an inside-out approach. Now, this is the kind of work that, we kind of feel like we're not doing anything because we're not actually doing something physically. We're not taking action, but you really are taking the action. The action that you're taking is deep within inside you. And again, it's a different approach. And I always like to say, if what you're doing is working, then there's no need to change. But if what you're doing isn't working, try something different. Try this inside-out approach. You're going to find that this work is actually harder because you're getting to know yourself. You're getting to know your habits. You're getting to know who you are. And once you do that, you're going to find that it's that much easier to achieve your goals because you're going to know who you are. So I mentioned yesterday about integrity. Or did I mention? I didn't mention it on the live, but actually I wrote a post on my fan page about the character ethics. I kind of already filed away the character ethics versus the personality ethics. So it's kind of a little chart that I posted on my fan page. And it actually was like I said, it's a chart that talks about what personality ethics are and what the approach is, and then also what the character ethics. Now we've already talked about this on the live. And the post was basically saying, start with the character ethics. That's the one that's on the inside. That's the one that started in the 1920s, the first 150 years that he did the 200-year study. The first 150 years, success was actually based upon those character ethics. Now, I specifically gave an example in my post about integrity. Now, we know that integrity means, honesty, means truthfulness. It basically means saying doing what you say you're going to do. Well, if you have integrity, then if you say things like, okay, I'm going to work out, 3 days a week, then you'll just do it, right? Now you may counter, well, no, that's not necessarily the case, but I say it actually is the case because you know who you are. If you're doing the work, you know who you are. And if you know who you are, you're open and honest with yourself, and you know that you're not going to say something that you don't mean. So you may, instead of saying you're going to, let's say, work out 3 days a week, you may say, okay, I'm only going to work out 1 day a week. And then obviously if you work out more, then it's a bonus. So in other words, character ethics or going internal, doing that inside work means getting to know who you are so that you can have the integrity, so that when you do make yourself a promise, you're going to keep it. All right. So in conclusion, I want you to understand that the 7 habits are actually ingrained within us. They're deep within us already. They're in our conscious. They're in our common sense. Okay. They're in our nature. But in order to recognize them and to develop them and to use them, we must develop a new way of thinking. And this new way of thinking also says that, inside out approach says that we're going to have our private images supersede or precede our public image. And what does that mean? It basically means that when you're making and keeping promises, you're going to make and keep them to yourself first before you make and keep them to others. All right, so I hope this was helpful for you. Again, it's a different approach, a different way to see things. And when we actually see And it's not, I mean, these are actually basic principles, and we talked about the principles yesterday. And again, taking the time to just work on these foundational things. So when I start introducing the 7 habits, or when it's introducing the book, or when I introduce them on the live broadcast, it's going to be easier to incorporate. So at this point, the work that you should be doing now is from the inside, learning who you are. All right, so thank you for letting me kind of intrigue your mind there. A little stimulating conversation. It's getting a little dark here. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the yoga portion. And I just want to kind of remind you guys that on this Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes, these are like little inserts, like little baby steps, little mosquito bites of what we're doing. And it's something that you can do every single day. Yes, every single day, even on Sunday. You say, well, P, I need a day of rest. Well, let me ask you this. Do you need a day of rest of brushing your teeth? Do you need a new day of rest of eating? Well, by working on your mind, body, and soul, this is something that you should do every single day. This is going to help you transform your life, okay? So no excuses. Don't think of it as a big elephant. It's the small things that you do, right? It's the 5-minute exercises. And I'm doing them all at once, but you can spread them out. You can do 5 minutes of exercise here. Get up and walk around. Do some yoga. Do your yoga salutation. Toward the middle of the day when your mind is kind of hectic, just relax and breathe and do some meditation. You can play my meditation over again, or just take some nice deep breath. Read something, listen to a podcast, listen to this live recording. Okay, so do something every single day. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the yoga. Let's see. Today I feel like being grounded, starting off in the grounding position. So let's go ahead and start off in mountain pose. I want to do some salutation to kind of get my body warmed up here. Okay, so you're going to stand on your mat or on your floor. You're going to have your feet together or slightly hip distance apart. You're going to make sure that your head is a natural extension of your spine. You're standing up nice and tall. Your shoulders are drawn in back and your hands are down by your side. You're going to take a nice deep breath, Ujjayi breaths. Now again, I like to kind of revisit this because if you're new, by the way, thank you guys for watching. If you are new and I'm talking about Ujjayi breathing, you may be saying, what is it that she's talking about, this Ujjayi breathing? Well, Ujjayi breathing is a full diaphragmatic breathing. So typically speaking, when we're breathing throughout the day, most of us just kind of breathe in our chest, which is why our voice kind of sounds like nasal and this kind of stuff, right? But when you're doing Ujjayi breaths or deep diaphragmatic breathing, as you inhale, your belly actually expands out as the diaphragm moves up. And as it moves up toward the chest cavity, your chest also rises as your lungs start to fill with oxygen, right? That's on the inhale. And you just take it nice and slow, really just inhaling through your nose. And by the way, yes, you want to inhale through your nose. Your body is a phenomenal functioning machine. Those little hairs that we have in our nose, they're actually filtering out things. So as we're breathing in, so yes, breathe in through your nose. Now, obviously, if there's some kind of issues you have with your nose, you're going to breathe in with your mouth. But for the most part, you might be breathing in bugs, but for the most part, you're inhaling through your nose, okay? So your abdominal, your belly is going out wide as you're inhaling, and your chest is lifting up or expanding out. And then as you exhale, you're typically exhaling through your mouth. And then with the Ujjayi breath, your lips are kind of together, and you're actually blowing out through your teeth, like your mouth is just kind of relaxed. You're blowing out. But if you're just new, just regularly, just exhale out of your mouth. And as you exhale, your chest is going to collapse as the diaphragm returns back. And also you're expelling the oxygen from the air from your lungs. And then your belly is going to also go in toward your spine. Okay, so that's what I mean by Ujjayi breaths. And also with the Ujjayi breathing, it's not about just the function of breathing. Remember, this is the mind-body connection. So as you're inhaling, you're going internal. You're feeling what's going on inside of you. You're noticing any tension or any stress, any negativity in any areas in your body. It could be your joints. You can have hip pain. You can have knee pain. You can have muscle soreness. But you're just being aware of them as you inhaling. And then as you exhaling, you're just relaxing and releasing those tension, those the joint pains, the muscle soreness. You're directing your breath toward those areas. It's more of an internal thing, right? So you're directing your breath toward those areas to relax and release the tension, the stress, the negativity, or the pain that you may be feeling. Okay? And again, it's a practice. Yoga is a practice. Breathing is a practice. Once you get in tune to your body, you will find that this works. Like you can actually, I won't get into all the healing, but you can actually heal your body just, by knowing yourself. Okay, you know yourself better than the doctors. Okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. Let's go ahead and start off in mountain pose, and I'll get the music going, and then I will join you. Remember, a couple deep breaths here. When you get ready to do your deep breath, go ahead and put your hands together at the heart center and really just ground yourself. All right, got my music going. Let's get started. So right here, I'm just grounding myself, taking nice, deep, ujjayi breaths. Again, inhaling through my nose, exhaling through my mouth. During this grounding period, I'm also setting an intention for this 5-minute yoga practice. I'm telling my body internal what it is that I want to accomplish. All right, go ahead and place your hands down by your side. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. Take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, I want you to dive your body forward. Now as you inhale, look up halfway. And as you exhale, flatten out your back. Now again, depending on your flexibility, you may just be here, which is okay? Just flatten out the back and then forward fold. Remember, as you exhale, just kind of release into the pose. Now I want you to slowly round it up. Taking it one vertebrae at a time. Rotate your shoulders down and back. Just kind of turn this way a bit. There we go. All right, let's do that again. Deep breath. Inhaling. And as you exhale, dive the body forward. As we inhale, we're going to look up halfway, flatten out the back. And as we exhale, forward fold. And then slowly round it up, taking it one vertebrae at a time. Remember, just kind of take your time. Do what feels comfortable to you. I'm kind of do like in the pre-warm up here. Now let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Go ahead with the salutation. As you exhale, we're going to dive the body forward. As we inhale, we're going to look up halfway. As we exhale, we're going to step back, or actually I'm going to actually inchworm myself to the plank. And I'm going to take it to releasing your knee, chest, or chin. I'll do that first. And then upward facing dog. As you inhale, relax those shoulders. And then curl your toes under and exhale the downward facing dog. Now just go ahead and pedal your legs right here. Just stretching out the muscles in the hamstrings and the leg, warming up the upper body. Make sure that you're in the right positioning. Your fingers and your toes are spread out nice and wide. Middle fingers are facing forward, thumbs are facing in. You're taking nice, deep ujjayi breaths. Head is in alignment with your bicep, and you're pushing your chest towards your thighs and your knees. All right, let's come back on the fingertips and walk it back to our toes. Inhale up halfway, flatten out the back. Exhale, forward fold. This time as we inhale, we're going to take the body all the way up. And exhale, dive the body forward. Look up halfway. As you exhale, flatten out the back and walk your hands out to the plank. Release your knees, your chest, and your chin. And then inhale the upward facing dog. Relax the shoulders, soft elbows if you need to. And then curl the toes under and exhale the downward facing dog. Again, just kind of pedaling those legs. Come up on the top of the toes. And kind of roll down to the balls of your feet all the way down. Trying to get the heels down to the mat. Press your chest towards your thighs and your knees. By the way, lift the kneecaps to engage those quadriceps. Give a deeper stretch in those hamstrings. Come up on the fingertips. And walk it all the way back to your toes. Look up halfway as you flatten out the back. Tailbone sticks out toward the back of the room. Really feel a gentle stretch here in the hamstrings. And as you're breathing, just relax and surrender into the pose as you exhale. It's a forward fold here. As we inhale, we're going to take it all the way up. This time, we're going to arch back a little for me. Exhale, dive the body forward. Now look up halfway. Forward fold, inchworm out to the plank. This time, let's go ahead and hold the plank for a couple of deep breaths here. Now make sure your body weight is pressing toward your heels and not forward in your hands. Again, fingers are always spread out nice and wide with the middle fingers facing forward and the thumbs are facing inward. If you need to, go ahead and release your knees down to the mat. You can do a modified plank. And from here, we're going to actually release our knee, chest, chin. You can chaturanga in Dandasana. It's kind of hovering over the mat. And then inhale to upward facing dog. Remember, relax those shoulders. Take your time. And then curl the toes under and exhale to downward facing dog. Now let's go ahead and pedal. Just kind of stay here. Come up on our toes. Let's lean over to one side. The side that you're leaning on is the side that you're bending the knee. So I'm leaning over to the right, bending my right knee. Just feeling a nice gentle stretch here in my side. Also going up the side of my legs, my hands, my chest. All right, return back to the center and release it down. Come up on the fingertips and let's walk it back. Look up halfway. Forward fold. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. Exhale, dive the body forward. Look up halfway. Forward fold on the exhale as you inchworm out to the plank. Again, let's hold the plank. Couple deep breaths here. This is a nice power move, like strengthening move. Strengthening out the core. Remember, any tightness, just direct your breath toward those areas. All right, release your knee, chest, chin. Go to chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. Curl the toes under and exhale to downward facing dog. And let's go ahead and pedal. Remember, downward facing dog is the resting position. If you need to, you can modify the stance. Go wide-legged. You can also take it down to tabletop or even child's pose if it's too much strain or stress for you. Let's come up on the top of our toes. Let's lean to the opposite side. Bend that leg or bend that knee. And then return back. Release it down. Let's come up on our fingertips and walk it back to our toes. Your body should be feeling nice and warm now. Flatten out the back. Forward fold. Let's kind of just hold it here for just a second. Take those index fingers and wrap around your big toe. And then flatten out your back. This is if you can. If you can't, just go ahead and just place your hands as far as you can go. If you need to, you can bend those elbows out. Just kind of forward fold. Look up halfway, flatten out the back. And then forward fold. Go ahead and release. Inhale, take it all the way up. Go ahead and arch back for me. Exhale, forward fold. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms. Inchworm out to the plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, take it to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just a couple more times. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Up on the fingertips. Walk it back. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. Exhale, dive the body forward. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, inchworm out to the plank. Release your knee, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. And then exhale to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to release our knees. Bring your palms so they're directly underneath your shoulders, and we're going to tabletop. We're going to do a little balancing here. So I want you to take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to extend your right arm and your left leg. Now this is the balancing pose. So in order to help with your balance, I want you to find a spot directly either on your mat or slightly in front on the floor. And I want you just to concentrate on that spot, and that will help with your balance. Make sure my palms. So a nice long extension is the opposite arm and the opposite leg. So you're doing your right arm and your left leg. And just make sure that you're breathing, your core is tight, your belly button's pushed up toward the spine. And then go ahead and release it down. All right, opposite side. This time it's your right arm or your left arm and your right leg. Again, just focus on that spot. Guys, your head is in natural alignment of your spine. So no need to look up at the screen. Just focus on that spot. Have a nice, strong, tight core. And release it down. Let's do the opposite side again. Take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, extend it out nice and long. Now you're extending all the way from the fingertips all the way down to the tip and top of your toes. Press the shoulders down, armpits are pressed toward the mat. And then release. Nice deep breath. And as you exhale, opposite side. Again, nice long extension. Continue to breathe and release. All right, go ahead and curl those toes under. Let's take it to downward facing dog. Now this time we're going to walk our feet in toward the palms. Kind of take your time. Bend those knees if you need to. Let's kind of forward fold here. And then let's slowly take it up one vertebra at a time. Making sure that your head is the last to rise. Let's go ahead and ground yourself in mountain pose here. And then let's take a nice deep breath, inhaling. This time as we exhale, we're going to dive the body forward. Placing the palms flat on the mat. Then you're going to walk your feet out toward the edges of the mat. And as you exhale, you're going to take your tailbone down toward the mat. Again, using your elbows to push out on those inner thighs. Bring the palms together at the heart center and bow your head. Again, directing your breath. This time giving gratitude for your practice today. Maybe set intentions for the remainder portion of your day. All right, go ahead and release the palms down. Then slowly try to start to transition yourself into a forward-facing seated position. Making sure that you're off your sits bones, or on your sits bones and off the fleshy part of your bottom. You may need to make some adjustments there. Fingertips are down by the mat, chest is up nice and lifted. Your head is a natural extension of the spine. You're sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath, inhaling, take the arms overhead. And as you exhale, release the fingertips down toward the mat. So that again, nice deep breath, inhaling, bring the palms up. And exhale, release them down. One more time, give me a nice deep ujjayi breath, inhaling. This time we're going to greet the palms together at the very top. Exhale down through the center. And namaste. All right, find a nice comfortable position if you're just joining us. If you're seated in a chair, take your shoes off. Make sure that your feet are planted sternly on the floor. Just kind of ground yourself. If you just finished practicing yoga with me, just kind of again, just close your eyes and just see what your body feels like, how relaxed. Or if there's still some tension and stress, maybe that practice was a little challenging for you, particularly in the morning, you need to calm yourself down. We're now going to go through a 5-minute guided meditation designed to relax or further relax your body. So I invite you to take a nice deep breath. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and close your eyes. And just release and drop your chin down toward your chest. Now as you inhale, keep your eyes closed, your head and chest lift all the way up. Forehead goes up toward the sky. Chest is rising as the lungs are filling up with air, with the oxygen that it needs. And as you exhale, just release, relax. Drop your chin down toward your chest. Just kind of take your time here. Again, as you inhale, forehead goes up toward the sky. Chest rise. And as you exhale, release the chin down toward your chest. One more time, take a nice deep breath. Forehead goes up toward the sky. This time as you exhale, just bring your chin forward so that your head is a natural extension of your spine. And just stay here for a couple of deep breaths, ujjayi breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Now if there's any thoughts that are coming into your mind or that are already there, just gently push them aside. Just continue to focus on your breath. Feeling that breath give you life as it moves in and out of your body. Now I want you to draw your attention toward your feet. I want you to squish them up really tight and then release them. Now draw your attention to the ankles. Release and relax those joints. Then moving up to your calf muscles. Relax. Tension is moving all the way up to the kneecaps. And relax. Now moving on to the thigh muscles. Relax. Tension is going to your buttocks. And now your pelvic area. And I'd like to draw your attention to your back. So if there's any tension and stress located within the back, and as you draw your breath in, I want you to note those areas. And then as you exhale it out, I want you to release and relax any tension that you may be feeling in your back. Good. Remember, if there's any thoughts that are lingering around in your mind, just gently push them aside. Bring your focus back to your breath. Now go ahead and hunch up your shoulders, squeeze them nice and tight up toward the ears. And then release them. Now I want to draw your attention to your neck and your jaw. And relax. And now finally your forehead and the muscles in your face. Just relax. You're doing a good job here. Now let's revisit the shoulders one more time. Go ahead and hunch those shoulders. Now I want you to relax and release, dispel any remaining tension and stress that you may have in your body. Just kind of sit with this for a moment for a few deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through the mouth, and just enjoy the sensation of being relaxed. All right, go ahead and give me a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. Again, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. One more time, give me a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. Now go ahead and open your eyes. Return, relax, release, refreshed, and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want to thank you for taking this time to meditate with me, and also thank you for taking the time to watch this live or recorded broadcast of Transform Your Life in 15 minutes. Your word for today is blissful. So try to have a blissful day. And I will see you same time tomorrow. Bye.